Welcome back on this rebranded channel nearly a decade later. I did miss making those fun design videos. Let's talk AI, because it seems that every day we're getting a new one with new capabilities at a new place. The average LLM that's making you panic about your job is usually one with an input of text, whether written or spoken, and with an output of text, whether it's an instruction, explanation, piece of code, or paragraph. We're talking ChatGPT from OpenAI, Bing from Microsoft, Bard from Google, and so on. The next step is a proper integration in an operating system, the closest candidate being Windows. And with Microsoft Build in a few days, I wanted to explore that idea before they relieve whatever they have. Technically, we do have Bing AI integration in Windows, but it opens a web browser for that same input-output of text, as we've discussed. It's not really an integration, more like a shortcut. So, let's look ahead. First, we need actions. I think that's certainly the next step. Don't just tell me something, help me accomplish it. Be a part of the process. We need to start seeing buttons in AI responses. Second, look, I understand why they chose Bing. We're all talking about Bing now, but we need better brand recognition. Bing will still resonate as a search engine, not as an assistant. And I love Halo. I love what they did with Cortana in the beginning, especially on my Windows phone, but Cortana's dead now. And also kinda in the game too. So let's do the obvious thing, the thing we all joked about, and bring back Clippy. I mean, it doesn't have to be Clippy, but let's have fun with it. The last thing, those AI live by their training data, what they're trained on, and in the case of Bing, also searching the web for more answers. But if you're a part of my operating system, then you have access to a whole new set of data. Therefore, we should look beyond the web version on my desktop. I want a proper integration on my machine, use that data. Let's divide some examples in 5 big categories: support, search, files, settings, and applications. Most of those examples are based on actual responses from Bing and ChatGPT. I strongly believe that AI will bring its most meaningful everyday impact in the form of support assistance. Troubleshooting is something that has always been an afterthought for the average user. Back when I was working on Colab, I experimented with support prompts trying to decompose and explain the issue, with possible resolution to the user. For example, if they got disconnected, I would give them some hints. If it was a network issue, then right in the interface I would explain the problem, give a simple solution, and then provide more steps to try to fix the issue. But if they were disconnected for security reasons, like their account being used somewhere else, I would explain what it could mean so they could either brush it off or take the appropriate actions to secure their accounts. Two very different things happening, both requiring different explanations to help, reassure, or press the user into action. The average application or platform today would just write on top, or offline, with nothing else. For the average nerd, when we see an error code, we're opening Google and we're off on some forum, FAQ, Reddit, or Stack Overflow page. For the average user, panic, frustration, and sadness. So, let's see what Clippy can do. First scenario, I'm working on an application, let's say Adobe After Effects, and it crashes. In the old days, straight to a Google search for the savvy, and everyone else, frustration and worry. In the current days, I can open ChatGPT or Bing, and they will surprisingly give me good steps to try to solve the issue. But in the new days, why would I have to do the search? Clippy pops up, does the search, and not only gives me the steps, but also prepares the action I can take. Two interesting things here. First, this pretty much works today, and we don't even need Microsoft for that. We could have a little utility that automatically takes the name of an unresponsive app, adds the word crashed at the end, and both ChatGPT and Bing helps you with troubleshooting with steps for that specific application. This works today. I hope to see that on GitHub soon, and then in the next version of PowerToys. Second, that's where the buttons come in. Today, you give me instructions to restart the app or PC. Tomorrow, you shall give me the buttons to accomplish that. Why tell me to check for updates? Check them yourself. You have the data on my PC and you can check the rest online. If my GPU is outdated, give me the link. If After Effects is, an older version, open up Creative Cloud. Oh, I should maybe contact Adobe support if all of that doesn't work? Sure. What's the number? That's what I expect from a proper AI assistant. Properly prepare all those things for me. Another scenario for support, a blue screen of death. The average user has absolutely no idea what to do. Let's explain what could be the issue, propose some solutions, and find where they can get additional help. This could make a tremendous difference in the way the average person can do troubleshooting. or at a minimum have a basic understanding of what might be the issue when asking for help. And of course, Clippy should show a bit of compassion. It should. We're not going to spend too much time on search because we already know how useful those AI tools are on that front. We just need better integration in the OS because opening a browser window feels off. Explain what is UX in less than 10 words, how quickly can I charge my electric car, or what was the exchange rate for $1,000 US in Canadian dollars back in 2011. Those are all actual answers from Bing or ChatGPT, and integrating them directly in the OS with a friendly Clippy will make it more fun, quick, and accessible. Let the machine do all the search steps for me. Why not add an option to automatically slide those answers in my clipboard? It's unfortunately time for some YouTube obligations. I'd love to make at least a video like this every month, and you can tell me yes with a like and not miss it with a subscription to this channel. Thanks! Windows search is a complete nightmare. I am a Windows user. I truly hate using macOS, but it is an objective fact that search is absolutely disgusting on Windows. All the stuff on my PC needs to become training data for Clippy. If I write Formula 1 photo from last year, there's different things that could happen. If we close our eyes on privacy, Clippy have been uploading and building a database of metadata on all my photos in the background so it knows what are Formula 1 photos, it checks the dates, and we're good to go. If we cut the uploading part for obvious reasons, then Clippy can check online when were the races last year and compare the dates with the photos on my PC. Bonus points if it uses the location data to get the ones at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve during the Canadian Grand Prix. Search can greatly benefit from AI, with queries like last version of my resume or illustration files I worked on last month. But there's a lot of file manipulation that are begging for a language model. Things that requires a lot of manual input or luck finding the perfect Windows XP era freeware from a defunct software company that still works. Here's an example. Let's select a bunch of files and drag it to Clippy. Then we can ask rename these files with their date and time. Afterwards, why not say, make a version under 1 megabyte in a subfolder. The average user will not hunt for a freeware online that does that or learn regular expressions for a GitHub Python script. But they will get a rush of joy when a website will ask for a max 1.5 megabyte file, and Clippy can do that for them in an instant with a simple drag and drop. From my research, most people prefer to adapt to an inconvenient experience rather than take the minimal time to adapt it to their needs. That unfortunate truth drives me nuts. Think about all your friends who never uninstalled that McAfee trial and just closes the notification, barely customized their Windows Start menu, and kept all the default Apple apps they never use on their docks. We probably don't need AI for that, but we also don't need AI to do most of the things discussed in this video. It's just more convenient. Get rid of the McAfee pop-up would understand what you mean and give you the button to uninstall it or the instruction to disable them if you really want to keep it. What is draining my battery? Would pop the graph that is already in the Windows settings that most people don't know about. Don't put my computer to sleep tonight. Would change the setting temporarily, making this multi-click operation and remembering to revert it back very easy. Like nothing revolutionary, but all quite practical. And by the way, I'm showing this on a Surface, but Surface devices don't come pre-bundled with McAfee, okay? Just so we're clear. The last category is certainly the most obvious. I want to be able to highlight a block of code, and Clippy would automatically pop and suggest prompts like, check if there's something wrong, how can I optimize this, minify this, and so on. Clippy finally suggesting useful things to the users and informing them on the fly about the prompts they can use. 20 years later, Clippy finally delivers on its original vision. Then I want to write /Clippy anywhere in my OS, and it becomes a prompt for it, with the answer pasted wherever I triggered it. I want to mention a client's name, and it would pop the email thread, when and where is my next meeting, and whatever file or document related to it's ready for me to double-click to view or edit. This is starting to sound like we should ditch everything in the UI and just have a text box in the middle of the screen as the gatekeeper for everything our computers can do. But that's not the point. The next big step is a proper API, proper integration with the applications I use and the tasks I do on my computer. Right now, all that capability is being shrinked to basic text I can only copy and paste from my web browser or a set of written instructions I can follow. We need to get between a web browser window with text and just a giant box in the center of my screen that does everything. Here. James Vincent from The Verge said it best in the Vergecast.
You're saying that we're now secured that this is the future of interface, that it is going to be conversational. I don't think we've yet worked that out for sure. It looks very good. It might work. It also might still be kind of awkward and clumsy to use, and it might be the fact that these natural language interfaces are only used in very specific things, and actually people still want to click around. They still want to tap menus. They still want to get that precision of control and that speed of control. So I sort of disagree that this is necessarily the future of computer interfaces.
So where do we go from here? Well, I hope to see that in a few days officially from Microsoft, from their Build conference. I'll mash my F5 key on Windows Central and The Verge every 2 minutes, and I hope to see something from Microsoft that blows everything I've made in this video. You can follow shockrouge across the platform web, reach me for all your design needs, and of course, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Tell me in the comments what you think of this concept and what would you like explored next. Thank you for watching until the end, and have a fantastic day.